The Struggling Artist Record Club is a vinyl record subscription service where I hunt and curate the best punk and punk-adjacent music out there and mail their record to your door each and every month. Imagine finding your new favorite band from across the country without ever having to leave the house. It doesn't get much better than that. The excitement of discovering new music just got that much easier. As a member of the Struggling Artist Record Club, you are going to receive some of the best music you've ever heard from bands you may never even heard of. Whether you've been collecting records for years or just starting out, the Struggling Artist Record Club is designed specifically for you. And right now, all new members get a Struggling Artist Record Club exclusive along with the monthly selection. So head to StrugglingArtistRecordClub.com, pick a membership, and start building that collection today. Marc-Alan, I am new to your music. And with that said, I apologize. Because it's one of those things, and I've said this to 3 people now from Pete. Like, when I hear something that like I haven't heard yet and I feel like I should have and I love it, I get really mad at myself for not knowing about it.
No worries, man. It's hard. Yeah. It's hard to get out there with so much. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much out there in the world, and you can listen to it and grab it from like a million different streaming platforms and entities. So, yeah, man, it's easy to get buried into there. But I do like that. I like that hello. Like, that's hilarious.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just one. Yeah, right. There's so much out there to consume, and like I love being able to consume new things constantly as far as music. But like I feel like there's so much sometimes everything else gets lost. Like sometimes things get lost in the mix. But I think what we're gonna talk about today, one of the things is what keeps that, you know, an artist kind of up top, right? Like you seem to travel a lot. At least that's the vibe I've gotten so far. So yeah. So I feel like that's the biggest. I think that's the best way to do it. Because like I'm listening to Runaway, and like so Pete had sent it to me I think prior to it dropping, but our schedule was just like so packed. Like it was hard to get you in here before that. But yeah, I was listening to it and I had this like I felt it. It's one of those things where I related to it a lot of it because I was a wanderer for a long time, you know, and I think that's what I'm getting from from a lot of your things, right? Like,
well, yeah, man, I ran away from home as soon as I could crawl. You know, it was like one of those things. It was just I don't know, man. I'm so addicted to it, you know, from the first time, that first taste of like touring, getting in a band or getting in a van, you know, and getting on the road. It was just like I've been chasing that like ever since, you know. And yeah, it's always a traveling thing. There's always something going on. A couple of weeks I head out to the East Coast, you know. Then after that, I got another run coming. Also, just got back from a Texas run, so yeah, it's just I can't stop, man. I just love it so much, you know.
Yeah, I hear you. A lot of my I wandered for a long time. I think a lot of it for me, I was definitely running away from things, but at the same time, like I'm a storyteller, and like being able to go places and tell stories, and not only that, but like learn stories, right? And kind of gather this stuff. Like I feel like it was something, because I write about a lot of the things I've experienced, right? So like for me, it's like I feel like some of this stuff needed to get documented. You know what I mean? So like I don't know. It's just that's just something in me that kind of like always, and I still have it. Like I try to think I don't because I've moved back to New England. You know, I actually the place I left when I left New England, I moved back to the same place I was living when I so like, you know what I mean? So there is some kind of like there's some kind of gravitational pull to me to this particular like little town that I don't know anybody in. You know what I'm saying? But like but at the same time like I think sometimes you just gotta go out there and you gotta make your way. You know what I mean? You gotta go out there and like find it. You know. So, but yeah. So I mean, with that said, kind of like if you wouldn't mind, I mean, like kind of tell me, because like especially with the album Runaway, like I feel like these are very personal stories, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So can you kind of like you want to dig into that with me for a little bit?
Yeah, sure, man.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Tell me about like you know like when did you realize that, you know, creating art and doing this music thing was like what you needed to do? Like what, because it's not something we just want to do, right? It's something we need to do it. And this is like I said, I just met you for the first time, but like listening to your songs, like I know this is like you're a lifer. This is something that you have to do, you know? Right.
I mean, as far as like when I knew I wanted to do it, man, that was early. That was so, I mean, beyond like just even before I even grabbed instruments and all that, I was like, I know that there's something here. I love music, and it's just I felt it and all. And I started off as a drummer, you know, and all I wanted to do was play drums. I mean, since I was just so young, it was just like drums all day, and I drove my parents crazy because I just wouldn't stop. I played drums until I couldn't, you know, until my hands bled, you know. But this record, though, in particular, it really started off. I had one song written, which was "Dying to Be Alive," and I had wrote that right before I did this European tour with Red at Night. And I knew that song had something in there, and I was really excited about that one. And I knew that I wanted to write something. In fact, actually, the next thing I wanted to write was actually a full band record. And I would go. The idea was like, okay, I'll go in the studio, I'll record all of the instruments, because that's what I've been doing that for a long time already. So that was like my big idea. And then we were just south of Rome. We were in Italy. And we were on tour with Christina Gerks, just like amazing, like photographer. And she snapped a photo of me. Like we were outside this club at this youth center club, and I'm just on the bench. There's nothing to it really, but she snapped this photo of me and she sent it to me. And like the second I saw it, it just like hit me. Like I was like, holy shit, I know exactly what I want to write about. Like it was just this story that I saw in this photo, in this one little photo, and that's kind of like what snowballed the whole record. Then from there, I got back home. I like locked myself in my apartment for like a couple of weeks, I think, and was just writing. I mean, it was just this whole thing just like came out, you know, and yeah, I honestly think it was like the best lyrical record I think I've put out at this point, for sure. From all the bands I was in before to now, like this one I think is like definitely my strongest. And that photo is actually, if you get the record, if you buy the vinyl, and the insert one half of it's like the lyrics and all the thank yous and stuff like that, the other half is that photo. So I put it in there because it's like a huge part of this whole record, you know?
Yeah. That's interesting. You may be the first person that had that like I ask, because I write all sorts of things. I don't know how to write a song, and like the running like gag is like, once I learn, the podcast is over, you know.
There you go. Yeah.
Like I'm done with this. No, but like so like you might be the first person that's approached like has had that for like that way of writing. Like you had this photo and it just kind of unraveled for you, you know? So like when I write, that's how like a lot of things, I hear a song that like reminds me of something, and then, or like, especially when I write, cause some, like I'll write fiction too, but I'll write like a lot of coming of age stuff, like kind of like, but like for older, you know, the dirtbag coming of age stuff, like kind of Jonathan Stroker style.
Man, that's my favorite.
Yeah. So like, we're a little older and we forgot, like we didn't realize, late bloomer kind of stuff. So like, but like I'll hear a song or I'll see like something, I'll get this visual and the whole thing will unravel in my head. Like I'll see, like I'll have everything. I mean, you got to go back and polish it after you get it all out, but like it's basically all there, and that's how I've always written. And I thought like that's just what happens. Like ever since I was a kid, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh yeah, that's like you just like once you get that thought, it's all there. But it's not for a lot of people. And but so for me, like with music and songs, and like I can't write a song, it's because I have too much to say. Like I can't compact that. And I don't know how to. I think if I gave somebody something of mine and be like, how do I make this into like lyrics? I think that would be better for me to learn how to do it. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
So,
right.
Yeah. But like, that's cool that like that photo from that particular moment in time, unraveled all of that for you,
Yeah. I don't know. There was something there. I saw it and it was just like, I saw this guy. I say kid. I always say kid, and I know I'm like super old, but I'm like, I just like looking at this photo. It's like I saw this kid, and he's just like I don't want to say lost, but it was just like he's just traveling. It's just he's just going. He's looking for something. Like I saw that. I saw this like this ambiguous look of it, and it was just and that just kind of really got me going, it was just like holy shit. And then realizing like where I was at, like I never thought I'd be touring the south of Italy or Italy in general, what I mean? I never pictured myself in that situation, and then just seeing that and was just like, fuck, look how far I have gone, and it was one of those moments also. It was a very humbling moment as well, and it just really took off on its own.
I'm jealous. I've always wanted to go to Italy. That's where my grandfather, his family was from. It was like southern Italy, like.
Whoa, really?
Yeah, like in Calabria, and I've always wanted to go, and I just haven't. And I was like, if I did like art and all my shit that I do, and like. I should have, like, if I started early enough, I think I would have been able to be like, I can just go and do this and travel and do this thing. But like, I feel like at 45, I'm just like,
no way, man. That's the time. Cause then you got like, I feel like when you're older in that you go places that you've always wanted to go and travel and see, you have more of a calm to you, like you can appreciate and just sit and be like, this is good. When you're younger, it's like, I got to go see this. I got to go check this one out. I got to go, we got to go here. We got to go there. We got to do it. When you're older, man, it's kind of like, all right, check that out. Right on. Let's get some coffee.
Yeah, you can kind of turn down the noise a little bit, right? And just kind of let it settle.
Absolutely. And if you're a writer, man, I got to tell you, there is some prime real estate writing out there for sure to just gain and get it all. And like you were saying earlier, it's like, hearing the stories, and I feel like it's not just you get stories from people, but I feel like you also get stories from settings as well. You know what I mean? Like you're in a place, you feel it, there's something in there, and then you can kind of, drive from that,
Yeah, I think in the older I've gotten, I've realized that, like, when I was younger, I'd have been like, nah, fuck that. That's not what you do. You know what I mean? And like kind of, but like, no, you're right. There is like, I've just been to places where like it, like, I just want it to be quiet and I want to look around and I just want to get this. Yeah. You like feel that story. You feel it's an emotion, man. It's an emotion. And like, it's something that as a younger person, like I still have a hard time with my emotions, and that's why I write. But like, it's one of those things where like you push all that stuff down just for whatever reason. And like for me, I was a fucking madman. So like, yeah, I would have just been running amok and just like doing everything else and like not trying to let it all kind of settle in, So. I think part of me too, like I'm also because like I see when I'm at shows and stuff, and I see people at shows, younger folks, and like. They just got their cameras out, and I'm like, nah, you gotta put it away. Like, I understand wanting you want to capture that moment in time, but like, I feel like I've just come from an age where like, like that was my mind. Like I was just able to like kind of visually see it, you know what I mean? And like keep it that way. And like I also was like, after the like 25, I was like, why am I getting fucked up at a show? I want to remember this shit. You know what I mean? So, cause like it's a different feeling and a different memory when you're inebriated at something, as opposed to like just kind of being like, not even like, you don't have to be sober, just having like a clear mind, you know?
For sure. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so where are you from? Where did you grow up? Where are you now?
So I was born in a small town in Texas called Del Rio, and it's actually right on the Texas-Mexico border, directly west of San Antonio. And I ended up leaving Del Rio pretty young, actually, and I left to Austin. And I lived there for 13 years, and that's kind of where I made my bones. You know, that's where it like really, really started happening for me. I was playing music before then, but when I got to Austin, that was like when it started reaching something, you know. And that's when I really knew that, yeah, like there is potential in this. I lived there for 13 years, and then like, man, but towards the end of it, I would say the last 2-3 years, you know, just being on the road as often as we were then, and as I was then, I was living like room to room or couch to couch, because there was no point in paying for rent if I'm not going to be there. If I'm only going to be there, you know, 6-7 months out of the year, I mean, why would I do that? And then Austin just started getting so expensive, man, there at the end. Like, it was just, it's just ridiculous. And it still is. It's still a very, very expensive city. Like, when I first moved out there, it was like 3 other guys. We all got in this huge apartment, you know, 4-bedroom. I think I was paying like, I don't know, $250-$300 a month for the room, you know, that's fucking great, especially when you're young and you're just like party mode, you know, all the time. But like that same apartment setup now with no renovations, still kind of like a shitty apartment, like is like $1,500 a room now.
Yeah.
You know, it's ridiculous. So it's gotten so, it got popular for a reason, you know what I mean? But then everybody else moved there, and it was just like, man, this isn't it anymore. Like, this is just dumb now.
I feel like we're facing that nationally now. Like we can't, like, it's so hard to live, to exist. And like, that's one of the things I write about a lot. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, how, like the government has made it so you have to be a 2-income household now. Like, it's incredible how fucking, like, I make good money, and I'm always like, where the fuck does it go? Like, you know what I mean? It's not that good, cause you know what I'm saying? Like, cause like at the end of the day, dude, like, I couldn't leave the place that I'm in. I wouldn't be able to get the same price for what I got. And like, you know, and I'm like, and I'm in the woods. I have to travel 100 miles round trip every day to go to work. Like,
holy shit.
That's the only way I'm going to make money. Like, and then it's like, now with the gas prices, I'm not making that money. Like, you know, man. It's incredible. It's incredible. And so like, I get it. And there was a time, so I had a small business where, it was like a little logistics business, and I would pick up stuff and just deliver it, and like usually medical stuff. And like, I wasn't like, at one point I was like, I'm just going to get rid of like my same thing, my place. Like, I don't need a place. Like, this company puts me in a hotel everywhere I go. And I was traveling between like 2 parts of Michigan, like up on the Upper Peninsula, and then like, or like the Mitten area, and then like down by Detroit. And then I would be in Tennessee, and then I would be in, you know, Pittsburgh. And then from Pittsburgh, you go everywhere. I was in Columbus. I was in West Virginia. Like, I'm like, why am I paying rent? You know?
Yeah. I mean, but I'm not going to lie. You made that sound real, like, maybe medical supplies wasn't what you were selling out there, you know?
Yeah.
It was like, I was just in this van. I was just going, Kieran, you know, I was selling stuff, you know?
Yeah. I was a drug mule, but it was like, it was definitely like from a pharmacy. So
yeah. No, I got a pharmacy too.
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, I got the job because I had a lot of experience, right? So
Do you know how to take drugs from state to state? Yes,
yeah,
perfect.
yeah,
Come on
yeah.
in. We're going
Yep.
legit.
And do it discreetly, you know? Yeah. No, it was just one of those things. And it was like, you know, it worked until it didn't. You know, that whole thing too, like COVID happened and like you know, and then I was like, I've told this story a billion times, but like I was in Pittsburgh, closest person I knew or loved was 500 miles away. Like I was stuck. It sucked because like you couldn't, you know, outside of me like working, like it wasn't like I could go and travel and visit anybody because like we were in really bad times here as a, you know what I mean, in the country and stuff. But yeah, no, it's just like, so like I came back, I was like, well, I want to come back to Massachusetts, and like it just happened to work out the way it did, and here I am again, you know. But no, it was like I loved traveling. It was just like I've always been a wanderer, always, and like I would always like, even when I was younger, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go move to North Carolina, you know, and I'd be there when I was young. I would be there for a few months, and then I'd come back, and then I'd be like, all right, where am I going next, you know? So I always had it. I just wish I had like the artist part of me like ready then. You know what I'm saying? Like I thought it was like bad, like you know, you get brainwashed as a kid. Like I thought it was bad to create and to like try to get out there and put it out there and do stuff. And like, you know, I got called all sorts of names from my father, and you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of thing. So, you know, even though this isn't therapy for me, I'm sorry, but I said, even though I'd knock his teeth out if you know, he just kind of like, he just kept at me and it just bugged me, you know? It's like, so I buried all that shit for so long. I buried all my writing and stuff for so long. And like, it was like, so when I see people out there doing this thing and I'm like, good, do this, show people you can, like, you are a real life troubadour. And like, and that's something that's been around since the Middle Ages. Like what you do is you travel and you tell stories, you know, you tell stories through your art, and it's needed, I think. And it's needed. And I think a lot of things in today's world, we lose that connection to it, but there's still people out there who are looking for it. And those are the ones you connect with, I bet. And like, those are the ones that, you know what I'm saying? So, my hat's off to you for everything you do in with traveling and playing music. But I mean, yeah, there's like a whole, like I have a whole, like there's a whole slew of you that are your troubadours. Like that's what you do, you know, and that's awesome. It's fucking amazing. Think about that. Like that's like, I don't know. You ever think about that? I don't know.
I do. But then I think about it, and it's an experience that I'll never take for granted, you know. And I love it, you know, and I appreciate anyone that comes out and like hangs out, and then just especially afterwards just to come and say hello, you know, or just anything, you know what I mean. And I always have freebies at the merch table, so I'm just like, here you go, look, like I can take this, you know, let's take a photo together, you know. Really big into selfies now. I don't know why, but it took me a long time, but man, I'm into selfies now.
I don't know why. That's amazing. I don't know why.
But
no, it's awesome.
just, but no, I, you know, I think about like all the places that like I'd been, you know, and then I think about, you know, you're talking about family, and I think about sometimes how like, fuck, how far have I gone and where I've been and this and that. And then I think about like, sometimes I'll think about my family, about how, you know, I don't think anyone ever saw this in the cards, you know, but I always knew, I always thought I would do something like this. And so, I don't know, to try to continue to do it and always finding joy in it. You know what I mean? As long as I'm still happy doing it. It'd be a lot better if gas prices were cheaper though. That's for sure.
I bet.
That's the thing that's like killing all of us right now. And you know, I remember thinking back, I mean, it's hard to think back of like 2006, but I remember like then gas prices were like even worse. I think it was in 06, I think. And we were on the road, and that was just like, I think about it now. I'm like, how the fuck did we even get through that? 'Cause that was insane. That one was really bad.
I think one of the reasons why, and because I think about that time frame too, and I think about like 2008 too, like where like, you know, home fuel was like fucking $5 a gallon, and I think because like a lot of like groceries were cheap then, you know what I mean? Like other cost of livings were cheaper than what gas was.
Yeah,
And
that's a
now
good point.
everything's just
Yeah.
way up there, and it's just like, how the fuck, man? I look at my hometown. I grew up in a home, like a small town in Rhode Island. Okay. Now it had like a coastal section, but like the main, like inland part of the town was like all working class. Like one of the best jobs you could have there was this company that owned 2 mills, right? And they had the mills on the other side of the town. And like, if you were a local person, you gotta, you never like went to college or whatever. Like if you worked there, like you were going to be straight, you know what I mean? Like you were good. It's not like that there anymore. Like I look at my cousin's kids. I'm like, how do you live here still? Like rent's like $3,000 a month. Like what the fuck? You're not on the beach. If you were on the beach, maybe I could think of that. But even that, fuck that. Like you don't like no one, like these people don't own the beach. You know what I mean? The government doesn't own the beach. Like it's land. It's out there. It's free. It's
And you got good beaches out there too. Also,
there's some good ones. There are some
Yeah.
good ones. Yeah. But like, how do you, like, I just don't know. Like, it's just hard. I just don't know how people do it, man. I really don't. And like, I'm 45. I live alone. It's me and my dog. And like I'm like, maybe I should have had a partner. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, how do I, like, no, I like it. I like this. I'm too crazy for someone to live with me. I'm fucking out of my mind. So, but no, so where are you now? Where are you located now? I cut you off way earlier, so I forgot to get back to that.
No worries. I kind of forgot what the rest of the question was, so this helps out.
Oh, yeah.
I live in Milwaukee now. I'm in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I moved here, let's see, November will be 8 years ago.
Nice.
I moved here, actually, so what got me really out of Austin was I ended up getting sick real bad. I had this infection called diverticulitis, and that fucked me up, man. It was brutal, and there was a lot of complications with it. And so when we finally got the surgery done, they like removed like 6 inches of the lower intestine, and then they put it back together. I was doing fine, and then I had a leak, and that like completely like tore me down, man. Ended up becoming sepsis in the hospital. Spent 4 weeks in that place, like learning to do everything again. Like I had to learn how to walk again. That was crazy. That's the part that'll bring you back down, to appreciate like every little thing, And so so it was like 3 weeks of like physical therapy, and then just like getting all of my shit back together. And then even at that, when I left the hospital, like I had like, tubes coming out and an ileostomy bag, and I went and I recovered back home, which was also tough. But then like once, I think that was like six months, I think, of that. Once they put everything back together and they were like, all right, you're good to go, should be fine. They kept me in the hospital a lot longer the second time to make sure nothing happened. By the way, if you ever get a surgery in any hospital and like you have like this like 7-day grace period after the surgery, if anything goes wrong, then it's on the hospital to fix you. Yeah. And so just so everyone knows that little
I'm sure
fun
they don't
fact
tell
there.
you that. Like they won't tell you that you got to find that out. So I'm glad you said that, because
No, yeah, it's like an insurance that they have to have. Like, so if you like broke your foot or your ankle and they repaired it, and all of a sudden you get like a staph infection or something like that, and you run back to the hospital, they'll take care of you for the rest of the time that you're needed to get that fixed. But yeah, so then once I got out of there, I was like, you know what, I'm done slumming it. I kind of had this like whole thought in my head when I was back home. I was like, if they put all this back together and I'm able to walk away from this, it's like I'm done slumming it. I need some digs, you know what I mean? And I remember just like having like two things that I wanted in an apartment that I was envisioning that I'd get. One was like, I'm gonna have a home studio. I want to be able to like work on music, every moment that I can, which I do. It's right behind me. And then the second thing I was like, I'm gonna have this is I'll have a copy of like a Chagall painting in my kitchen. Just that's all. And those are the two things. And I got it now. So I was like, yeah, all right, life's complete.
Yeah. So what about Milwaukee was it that you like wanted to go to?
So I was actually looking at like several different cities that I wanted to go to, like New Orleans and the West Coast, like the New York area, Manhattan, Brooklyn area. Of course, I could never afford that, but it was just like,
Yeah.
yeah, if I'm gonna move somewhere, I might as well look into it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Um, and then I also like do a lot of like tour drumming for bands, or hired gun stuff. If a band needs a bass player, guitar player, drummer, I get
Hmm.
picked up and we'll do that. And I was doing that for a band here in Milwaukee called Avenues, and I was their touring drummer. And I absolutely loved it, And when I told them I was like, hey, I'm moving out of Austin, they were like, "Oh man, you should move to Milwaukee. Then we can jam all the time." And I was like, "Yeah, that would be cool." And so I started looking into Milwaukee, and luckily I found this amazing apartment that I was just like, I couldn't say no to. Like I just, there was just no way. And so that was like I pulled the trigger, and I was like, "All right, yeah, I'm moving to Milwaukee," which was also kind of funny because like when I left Texas, it was still like brutally hot. And then I came up to Milwaukee and it was the polar vortex and I had no winter coat. I had like no idea,
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
any of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. You went from
And,
one extreme to the other, man.
oh man, just immediate, and yeah, that was a little tough. That was an adjustment, but honestly, it wasn't that bad. I think I was just so sick of the heat and I absolutely hate the heat, too many nightmares of trying to like sleep in the van when it's just like hot as
100 degree.
shit,
Yeah.
like no, I'm done with the heat. So once I finally got up here and like it didn't take long to adjust, it was like, all right, yeah, I could do this. This isn't too bad. And plus it's an apartment. I don't have to shovel, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
my setup is so choice. Like the grocery store, like not a bodega, like the grocery store is like literally right across the street from me. It's a stone throw away from my front door.
Mm.
Um, yeah, like all there's tons of like stuff right around here, and so it's just man, it makes it so easy to adjust. But I will say I finally got my first winter coat though, like finally after 7 winters or whatever, I finally got a winter coat. And man, I've been missing out because I would always like put my leather jacket on with the hoodie and like the
Yeah. Yeah.
undershirt. But every bar you go into in Milwaukee, they got the heat cranking. So you'd get in there like, all right, you take your jacket off, and it's like, man, it's hot warm. Let me take my hoodie off.
Take
Like,
your hoodie
damn, I'm
off.
still
Yeah.
hot. Now I gotta go to the bathroom, take my undershirt off. You know what I mean? Then come back, and
Yeah.
then it's like, oh, it's time to leave. Like, fuck, all right, let me go put the
Yeah.
undershirt back on and the
Well,
hoodie
you
back
remember
on.
everything, right? How many times I've left shit, like left a hoodie at a bar because I did that instead of buying an actual coat, because like I'm like, no, man, I don't need a coat. I'm not an adult, So
No, exactly. And so, yeah, I remember the moment, and maybe hopefully I'll remember this forever. But like, I was in Chicago, and I was down there with my partner, and we go down to a coffee shop, and I'm like, all right, I'll put my coat on. It's in the morning, So I was like, do I need to put my hoodie on? And I was like, they were like, no, just wear the jacket. I bet you'll be fine. I'm like, okay, got a shirt on, put the jacket on. And we're walking. I'm like, all right, it's not too bad. A little cold, but you're surviving. We get to the coffee shop, and then we get our coffees and I think some sweets, and then we sit down, and I like open my jacket and put it down, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm just in my t-shirt. This is
hmm.
amazing.
Yeah, yeah.
All the years I've missed out.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So when I was younger, I ended up moving to Bangor, Maine, and like I remember like one of the only things, like one of the only good things my father ever did for me was like he was like, I gotta I'm buying you a pair of boots and a coat. And I was like, what? I don't need that. Like, I've lived in New England my whole life. He's like, you lived in Rhode Island your whole life. Because like, New England is New England. I got up, I had, first, I've never felt cold like I did up there. Like, when you, like, it was the first time I
Really?
ever felt, when you breathe in, because I know this happens where you are, when you breathe in and, like, the saliva in the back of your throat, like, crystallizes, it's so cold. It was the
Wow.
first time I ever experienced that. And I was like, whoa, I thought there was something wrong with me. You know what I mean? I was very grateful to have those boots. I was going to go up there with like flip flops and like a hoodie. You know what I mean? So like, it was one of those things there. I was kind of grateful for that. That was like a positive moment for me to get.
What is it about Rhode Island that it doesn't get like cold, or
It
It
gets
doesn't.
cold, but it doesn't get like the more so. And I always make the joke because I lived in southern Rhode Island, right? So I was like, oh, it's always warm in southern Rhode Island. No, so it has to do with the ocean, right? So with the ocean, like it gets cold, but like because of the salt in the air, it's tough for like snow won't stick around as long. You know what I mean? Like stuff
Oh,
like that.
okay, okay,
But
yeah.
like it's just I don't know. Like there is a big difference. Like when I moved to Worcester, Massachusetts, like I mean, it was like being back in Bangor as far as snow. Like there was feet of snow
Hmm.
everywhere. I remember that. I remember watching snowbanks as they as they were melting. There was cars under them. We had no idea. I thought it was, like it was incredible. But like yeah, back home, like it was like the worst. We'd get some bad snow, but then like it would be gone in a day or two.
Right, yeah, that's my like understanding of Rhode Island because I have a one of my best friends. He lives out there, um, and I think there was something going on out there in New England, like some real bad weather, And I hit him up. I was like, "Hey, man, just checking in, make sure everything's right." And he's like, "Oh yeah, we're fine." Like, are you sure? Because it doesn't look fine.
Mm.
Doesn't look fine at all. So, but yeah, and then he was just like, "Oh, it's Rhode Island,"
Yeah, yeah.
and then
There are
I'm like,
some parts though, like up in northern Rhode Island, like kind of close to where I live. There's like there's like a section of Rhode Island that's in a valley, and they get buried. Like the whole running gag when I was a kid growing up was like when you were watching the news to see if you had to go to school, like Foster, Gloucester, which was like that town, that school in that town, never had school. I'm like, how come these guys never have school? It's because they get buried. I'm in that valley now. I just live in Massachusetts, end of it. So I'm like, oh, I get it now. Like,
okay, right
yeah,
on.
yeah. But for the most part, I think it just has to do with the salt air. You know what I mean?
Okay.
And just like it's just a little more south than the rest, I guess, of New England. So
All right, yeah. I mean, that makes sense to me. Yeah, sure. I get,
yeah,
yeah. I'm no meteorologist, but
nah, me neither. So
but I tell you what, I could probably do just as good of a job, though. I
yeah,
tell you
yeah,
that, right?
yeah, for
It's
sure.
not gonna rain. It's fucking raining. Oh, my bad. I still got a job though.
Yeah.
It's like, this,
No, we need you on the road, dude. We need you sharing these stories. That's what we need. We need that as much as lucrative as a meteorologist. I'm pretty sure it's a lucrative career. We need you on the ground, like front line, telling us these stories. That's I don't know. That's my 2 cents on it, though. Can we talk about the song "Runaway"? Because like that song. Like I mean, it's the opening track. There's a reason why it's the opening track, right? It fucking like it. That was the one. As soon as I heard it, as soon as it started, and I was listening to it, I'm like, yeah, he just hooked me with the whole thing. Now this seems like, is this a real personal one for you?
but yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
very like that whole thing is like the whole song is just like it's real. It's as real as I could probably get. Dropped out of school, left home super early, you know. And there's a part of the song. It's one of my niece's. It's my niece's favorite story for me to tell. Because I don't know, maybe she just loves how big of an idiot I am. But yeah, she loves hearing the story, and I think the line in the song is like my brother dropped me off in Austin and I couldn't read the street signs. That's true. I'm 16, 17, I think, and taking me to Austin. He's taking me to Austin to drop me off with a buddy of mine, and Austin, mind you, he lives in San Antonio, right? It's a huge city. There's loops and freeways and highways that go just like
in
insane.
the city. Yeah,
Yeah, Austin, tiny, one highway goes north and south, I-35. That's it. There's no trick to it. That's it. So I think my brother was kind of frustrated, that I was doing this a little bit. So there's that. So he's driving me up, right? And he's like, "Hey, what part of town am I dropping you off at?" And I was like, "Well, the directions I got was just like take the Riverside exit, we go down to this one street, and it's right there. It shouldn't be no problem." And my brother's like, "Well, what side of town is it on?" And I was like, "I don't know. He just said we drive 30 on 35. We take this exit. I don't know. What do you want from me?" This is before like Google Maps and stuff like that. Or maybe before it was like everybody had it. So we're doing this, and then he's like, "Hey, call your buddy up, tell him like where we're at, so we know where we're going." And I'm like, "All right, fine." So I call him up, and I'm like, "Hey, man, we're passing this street," and he's like, "Tell him this is the exit that's coming up." I'm like, "All right, hey, we're going down. We're passing William Cannon Doctor," and my brother just looks at me and yells, "It's Drive!" Like William Cannon Drive, not William Cannon Doctor. I saw a name. I was just like, hey, look, this doctor has a street named after him. Maybe this doctor cured fucking, anal cancer. I don't know, man. Like, so I just didn't know. And I got a music video coming out actually for Runaway. It should be coming out pretty soon. And at that moment, actually, it was filmed through Texas. So that line actually shows the sign that we had passed, and where he like yelled at me like, "It's Drive!" And so my niece loves it when I tell that story. And every time they go to Austin, my niece will like take a photo of the sign and like send it to me.
The only exit, right? The only exit, like that's right there. And
then she'll text it to me, and she'll just with the caption, "It's Drive, it's Drive, Uncle Mark." So, yeah, that song, like, it's just there's a lot in it. The whole thing is just extremely true, and for me, like when I was really writing that, I was going down this idea of like, becoming the person that you want to become, and sometimes it takes like running away from home or leaving the thing that you have done for so long to really like figure out like who you are. And I think when people kind of figure out that maybe there is something else, it's almost like you're killing the person that you used to be, and then you want to become something else, hopefully something better, but that's always this like this transition that I think like a lot of creators can go through, writers, musicians, the list goes on, of this like this flipping the switch kind of thing, and for me that was always just like a constant, evolution, of really becoming like something that you're like proud of and want to be, and something different that maybe like your parents had for you,
Yeah. No, that, like I said, when the song started, like right away, I just felt it. And like, and you, not the way you sing too, you put every ounce of you into it. And I can feel that too. And like, just the mixture of that really got me. And like going through and like I was like listening to it, for the lyrics and like, it hit home a lot for me, you know what I'm saying? And like,
yeah,
and there's something about art when you can relate to it that just kind of amplifies it for you and like makes you think of all sorts of things like running through your head, just, you know what I mean? Like whether it's memories or inspiration to do something or whatever. That song, like it got me. And so, like I had said, Pete had sent me the album, and I was like, all right, cool. I'll check it out. I was like on my way home from work, and I'm like, my truck doesn't have like the best audio in there, so I just listen to audiobooks normally because I want to be able to hear everything with a song. I was like, but I'll let you know when I get home. And then like, I feel like I was stuck in traffic, so I was like, let me just put this on, and like, I was like, yeah, we're booking this now. I was like, we got to do this, because like that song, like I must have looked like a real crazy person in my car because I was like, oh, like just like it was like when you get like that chill, like that shiver, it was like almost every verse. I'm like, come on, like how is he writing? So how is Marc-Alan writing something that directly at me? We haven't met yet, like. So that's why I wanted to ask about it because it's and then was it you I forgot if it's that one. I don't think it's that one, right? Is it the Damned where you talk about like your heart on your sleeve, right? Like where is that lyric? Sorry,
no, I think that's I think it's a Runaway. Yeah.
And
hearts and tattoos sleeved. Yeah.
So that's the thing, like. like for me, I had to, for a long time, I kind of like just turned that switch and turned off all my emotions. Cause like I would just feel things too much. And like,
Mm.
I was just like, nah, man, I'm just going to go through life without it. And like, it sucked. Life sucks when you do that. And like being able to like express yourself and put it out there and kind of like, you know, just because you have, like, again, we have to do that, and we force ourselves not to. It makes everything a lot worse. And like, so I don't know. I just want to thank you for that song, because like that song, like I know from listening to it, and like me being like me writing and stuff like that, like how personal that was for you to put that out there. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's a banger. It's a banger.
Man, thank you. I really appreciate it, and yeah, going through that stuff is always tough. And when I was really working on it, though, I was, you know, I still do. I was in therapy and talking about stuff. And when I was coming up with all of that, you know, obviously, like I'm an older guy, right? And talking about the things that happened like a long time ago now, but those things, like, they stay with you, you know. And so it doesn't really matter like how much older you are or how far you've gone. Like those things that, you know, that really like that stick with you, you know what I mean, especially when you're young, they never go away, you know. I mean, you move forward, you know, a lot of things, and you continue, like, you know, your growth and stuff like that. But like when you think about those things that happened to you, or when you're growing up and how things kind of started, you know, those things, man, they'll stick with you for a long, long time, you know?
Yeah. I write about like that voice in your head, the bad voice, then like whose voice it is, right? Like we know, each and every one of us that has that voice in their head knows whose the voice that is. And it doesn't matter if you haven't seen that person in 30 years, 40 years, like it's still there, and you know exactly who's telling you that, who's telling you you're not worth a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like that's one of the things I write about a lot, because like that's stuff that I deal with. And I've been in therapy for 10 years, and like, you know, and I'm getting there. We're making progress, you know. So, but yeah, no, it's that song just kind of like it kicked up a lot of which is good, right? Like I said, when I used to turn my emotion off, like I was just. My buddy said I was like a doorknob. Like I had the emotional response of a doorknob. He said, like, you know, and like now, like I just like, cause like I'm like, man, how did I live so long like that? Like, you don't, I just existed, and I didn't like, and there's times where I feel like I'm just existing, but it's for different reasons. But like that, I truly was just like, nope, I'm just like a robot. I'm just gonna go through life like this, and like because I didn't want to feel, you know, and we need to feel. So, so that song I had to ask about, like, it was just like, was just one of those things where, like I said, like it just gave me the chills the entire time, and like, you know, yeah. So, let me ask you, like, performing live and like singing these songs, right? Is it cathartic to sing these tunes and to get them out of there and everything? Or are you a person that, like, once you're done with this, like so right now you're on the second half of the damn tour, you right?
Part two right now.
Yeah. So like once this is over and you're writing something new, or you have something new, do you like go back and revisit these things too? These other ones?
Yeah. I mean, right now for me, it's like I'm in it. You know, Runaway is my entire life right now. But I got the Damn Tour Part 2 is coming up to the East Coast, and then there's a Part 3 to be announced as well. And then I don't know. I want to do a Part 4. We're talking about Part 4. And I really, really want to do it, but man, it's just with prices and everything like that right now, it's tough, you know. And then plus with the way that I travel, you know, since it's just me, which is great, and playing, you know, solo acoustic, you know, it's just, I get on a plane, I fly, and when I get to the area, then it's like, all right, let's get the car or meet up with a buddy, and then we're rolling around that way, you know. So, and then it's like get back on the plane, you know, fly back home. I guess really my life right now is just so consumed
Mm-hmm.
with Runaway right now that like I have tons of songs, you know what I mean, that I want to put out. I think the next thing I really want to do is like a full band thing. Um, but performing these songs though is like, I don't know. There's when when playing songs that have like deep meaning like this, you know what I mean, and they're not just songs to be songs. And then you're kind of seeing the reaction from the crowd or from someone, you know what I mean, like sitting there listening and actually listening to your words, and then you can see them like, oh fuck, like yeah, you know. Then that's like the moment where it's just like, fuck yeah, I see this is worth it, you know, this is a thing, you know, if people can relate and understand that they're not alone, you know, even though it feels like you're fucking alone, you know, in you know, in your mind or whatever. uh Truthfully, you're not, you know, all of us have gone through it, and you know, it's like bringing you know, people together, you know. But no, right now I think, honestly, I think the short answer is right now I'm just so consumed with this and the touring and the travel schedule, and that like Runaway is like is really like the top of the list right now for me.
Yeah, 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 yeah. And you're right. Like there's like it brings like a community and camaraderie to when someone realizes like they're not alone in this, you know, in this situation or whatever. And like for like I think that's one of the reasons why this podcast is what it is, like so people can, because like I always felt alone, and like it wasn't, you know, and at times I think we still do, regardless if we know there's a community surrounding us, right? So
Absolutely.
yeah, but like so, but like yeah, it's just like I mean, it's, you know, no one wants anybody to go through the shit they're going through, but when you find someone who has, like, it's like yeah, there's like camaraderie and community within that, you know what I'm saying? And like yeah, that's good stuff. And I, like I said, I think that's why this podcast does, like, why we do what we do is because like we want people to like to know that, you know, because like I said, for a long time, like I thought I was the only person that had, like, I used to have, well, I still kind of once in a while, but like I would have panic attacks since I was a little kid. I had no idea what it was. I thought, like, I
Oh
was like,
fuck.
and I just dealt with it, right? Like, and I'm like pouring sweat because I'm like internally like just dealing with it and not know. And I had no idea. Like sometimes things would like really speed up, and I felt like I was moving slow. And I'm like, what? Like I had no idea that's what it was. I thought it was just, I was just, you know, it was something just, well, you know, I just thought it was just something that happened. Like I had no idea until you start talking about it. Like, and then, you know, it's just a crazy thing. So
Yeah.
like, you know, but yeah, so I think that's awesome. And I'm sure, like, you know, from what I've gathered too, like you traveling and meeting people is got to be like cathartic as well, as far as like, you know, people who relate to your art, and you know.
No, that part is like what makes it like worth it. You know what I mean? Especially when, because I always talk about like how I got sick also, right? Because the last record I had has a song on there that I covered from this band called Nowhere Bound. They're from Austin.
I love Nowhere Bound. Love that band.
So good. Caught their last show. Actually, it was a New Year's Eve show in Austin, and I got to open that show. And I'll be honest with you, I think the only reason I wanted on the show was just be like, all right, we're going to this show. I gotta be there because I'm playing. But really, I just wanted to see Nowhere Bound.
Yeah, yeah.
And they have a song called One Last Shot on their Hearts and Arrows record.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh, it's such a good record. I have that. It's over there. Yeah.
It's
sorry,
amazing.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No worries. And when that record came out, I was actually living with Chris Klink too. We were sharing this house. But when I when I was going in the hospital though, and it was like, all right, physical therapy time, like, fuck, man. After the first 2 days, I was like, this sucks. Like, do you have any tips or something? Like, what else can we do? Because this is fucking the worst. And I had a few people, I can't remember, and this part I wish I could remember. I want to say it was this girl, and she was like, well, you're a musician, right? And I was like, yeah. She's like, well, you want to like listen to some of your music, or just to some music in general? And I was like, okay, yeah, you know what, let's this was a good idea. And so I'm walking down this hallway. I put my headphones in, and I just had my playlist on random. And then I think it was the next day we went back out. We're doing it, and then that's One Last Shot came on, and it was just like, I don't know, man. It was like in my mind, what was happening was like Rocky slow motion, like I'm gaining speed, I'm running down the beach, but probably was only like taking like 2 steps a minute though, but that song though like resonated in me, and I listened to that song every day in the hospital. Like that was the track, that really really pushed me, you know what I mean? That was my like Rocky anthem. Um and I tell Clink that all the time too. So when I put out my record, I was like, dude, this song has like a lot of weight to me. And I asked him and Natchez Taylor, I was like, can I cover this song? And they're both like, absolutely, like do whatever you want to it. So I play that song every night.
Nice.
And I always tell my story, of how I got sick. And after every show, or not every show, but after the shows, when people come up to me and they're like, dude, I was sick too. Oh my God. Or like I had a parent that was sick, or my brother was sick, or seeing them go through it, or what I went through. And man, there's been so many shows afterwards that like I'm talking to somebody, we're talking and we're relating on these things on how just like traumatic being in a hospital for like an extended period of time really is. And then we start crying, and then it's just like, I don't know, man, those moments are like, fuck, yeah, like having someone to really like understand it, I think that really is like what goes a long way,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, my producer, he lives in Buffalo, and he went through that last year with diverticulitis, and like he was in the hospital for like almost a month or something. It was awful, and like I kept going like, hey, you good? Like I kept having to, because and then because of that, he ended up having to have a surgery this year for something else, and like it's just like it's great. I got sick this past like but right after Christmas, and I was sick for up until like March.
Oh,
and
fuck.
like they were it was, for me, I was scared because they couldn't figure it out. And like so I had procedures done and like all these tests, and now I'm just dealing with the fallout of the bills, and like they never figured it out. But I'm better. So it's like, okay, like part of me is like, I'm grateful that I'm better and I didn't have to go into a hospital for an extended stay. But a part of me is like, what if this comes back and you guys can't figure it out again? It was just a crazy thing.
The diagnosing is scary. That's scary. That carries a lot of weight, because now it's just on your mind. You don't know what it is. That's that's the thing about it is not knowing what it is. And it's just like, then your mind just spirals, just goes into it. It could be this, it could be that. It could, I fucking got lupus. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, it's just,
yeah. And WebMD is not your friend. Like,
no, man, no. I tell everybody, do not ever go to that website. You will, you will be convinced yourself that you have like the most rarest, uncurable disease ever.
Yeah, for sure, man. For sure. So it's just like, it's just a crazy thing. But yeah, no, I'm and you're good now. You're good, right? Like,
oh yeah. No, been 8 years. Like now, it's like watch what you eat, take care of yourself as best as you can. There was a lot of changes. That's that I've taken. Now. And learning about more of the human digestive cycle. So yeah, no, it's good. Everything's good now.
I'm happy you speak on it, because like I feel like that's because it's not something that like is normally talked about. I feel like it slips under the radar, and a lot of people end up getting sick and having that and not being able to like quite figure it out or understand it, right? So I think having awareness of that is a good thing. And again, like, and like, no one wants to talk about their time being sick, but like being able to get up and do that too, like, that's another great aspect of what you're doing. And I appreciate you doing that. Cause like I said, like I know people that have had that and like, they had no idea, like, Chris, the producer, he like he had no idea until he was in the hospital, and they were like, "Hey, like you got some bad stuff going on here," and I'm I'm thankful he's better and doing well, but like he was down and out. I mean, this guy he's a nut. He was like, "Oh, I'll podcast from the hospital." I'm like, no. You get better. Like, I'm gonna check in with you to make sure you're not doing that. So like, it's just something that like when people like it's just something else to people for people to like relate and understand and try to what I mean and learn about. I think so.
And Chris is all right.
Yeah, he's good. He's good.
Right
yeah.
Okay.
He just had to have a different thing, but I think it was related to that. But he's good. It was like a thing that needed to get done that they were just, I think he was just waiting until now to do or whatever. But yeah, he's back. He's back. He does the monthly shows with us, and he's back on the Patreon shows and all that stuff.
Right
too,
on.
so.
I'm glad you're all right, Chris.
Yeah. So, but all right. So you mentioned Chris Klink, and so he's been on the podcast. Dylan's been on the podcast too, and I know that. So we have these connections everywhere. And then I say all that to get into. I didn't realize you have a show tonight, so we're gonna wrap this up so you can get places. But like, let's talk about the tour real quick, and then so you have a show tonight in Milwaukee, right? And then on the 6th, you're gonna be at the Silhouette Lounge in Alston, and you're gonna be playing with my dear friend of mine, Carrie Ann. See you, Skidmore. Yeah. If we could do one more degree of separation, I was checking out your video for The Damned, and in the first shot you're wearing a Coffin Salesman shirt, and I like lost my mind. They're my favorite band. Like I absolutely lost my mind over that one. So, but yeah, so so the 6th you're at the Silhouette Lounge, and then the 8th you're in Asbury Park, right? The 9th you're gonna be in Brooklyn, and then you're heading back to Rhode Island to be in East Providence on the 11th at Myrtle. Is that a new place? I don't think I've heard of Myrtle.
I want to say it's newer.
Yeah, East Providence is its own thing too. Like East Providence is off. You know what I mean? Like you have Providence, and then you have like the east side of Providence, but then East Providence isn't that, right?
It's the smallest state ever that has like fucking like so many different worlds, man. I'm telling you.
It really does. It really does. Oh, man. Oh, then you're at Snapper McGee's in Kingston, New York on the 12th.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. My buddy Scott is up there. Are you doing a show with Scott from DCPC Live?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Scott's my man. I just hung out with him at Camp Pennsylvania. I was out there.
Yeah.
Ended up doing a pop-up show, which was so much fun.
That's awesome.
And I did a split live record on DCPC Live with Red at Night from Berlin, Germany. Man, we toured our asses off for that record, and I'm very proud to say we sold out that record. And we were actually one of the first acts to like potentially even do like a repress, because no one's done a repress with them before, and we were really thinking about it, but then we're just like, can we like tour that again? And Red and I we were just looked at each other. It was like, no, I need a break. I'm like, yeah, me too. Okay, can't do that. Right on.
Yeah, Scott's the best. I edit and produce his podcast.
Oh, right on. I'm huge fan.
Yeah.
Oh man.
So I mean, we got connections all over the place. I'm gonna try to make it out to the 6th in Alston because I'm off that day. So maybe I should get out there.
Man, come out. It's gonna be like, oh man, it's Coffin, it's CE, and I can't ever call her anything other than CE. It's like CE. We did a run together actually, like not right after COVID, but it was like one of the first tours I think I did like after COVID like really had settled down, and I mean, like when I say really, I really took my time getting out of that, but. We did a run in the Northeast, and it was just so much fun. She had her full band, and like our first show, we ended up playing in Manchester, Massachusetts, right? Yeah, I think that's the city. And then we just randomly ended up opening up for Amigo the Devil.
Wow!
It was a packed show. It was
just a random.
It was so like, oh, okay, and. And so, yeah, and I'm going to be honest with you, I'd never even heard of the guy up until that point.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we open up the show and I play, and I like for me I was like fucking crushed it, nailed it, big show, like this is awesome. And then CE gets up there, and then it was just like my like confidence level was like fucking like sky high. I saw them and I was just like, oh shit, they're fucking really good. And my buddy, my right hand man, my guy Max Cunningham, just so happened to be there for the show also, and then he didn't really know who Amigo the Devil was, so then he saw CE play and was just like, oh man, about time you finally got like on a tour with like a really really fucking good band that draws all these people. Like he thought they were all there for them.
Oh, yeah,
Because that's
yeah,
how
yeah.
much they fucking killed it. Like they like I mean, just it was seeing them was just like,
Yeah.
wow, this band is just fucking amazing. She's amazing. So it was just like, wow, this is incredible. So that was like one of the first tours I did with them. It was just incredible.
That's awesome. Yeah, so I ran into her a couple weeks ago at a show, and I was like, "Did I see your name on something?" And then she's like, "Yeah, I'm playing with Marc-Alan Prince," and I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I was thinking like, "How do I know that name?" It was before before we had booked this, and then Pete comes in and we book you, and I'm like, "Man, Marc-Alan Prince is popping up everywhere," and I was like, "But I was like I hadn't heard it before, but." So I look and like my Facebook has suggested you to me a dozen times, and I'm like, that's who that is. So the next time, like, expect a friend request at that.
Okay.
I was like, how do I know that name? And it kept popping up, and it was because of the algorithm just kept throwing it at me for like months.
Right on.
Now. It was just funny because like I only go on Facebook for the podcast stuff, and then like that's like one of the first things is like suggested people or whatever, you know. And so like there's a lot of I can't wait to check you out. Like if the energy I feel from your record is like if like I'm sure the live performance is if not more electric than that, you know what I'm saying? Like so I'm excited. I'm excited to see you perform. Is there any more shows after Snapper McGee's? That's all I see on the Bandcamp right now.
After Snappers, yes, there are more shows. They're just we're just waiting to announce it. Yeah, but there's the Damn Tour Part 3, and I have a special guest touring with me on that one. I'm really excited about. So that one should be announced here pretty shortly, actually. And then after that, it's like, man, I really want to do another one. I really do. But we'll see if financials can get straightened out. Then there'll definitely be a part 4.
Yeah. Well, I hope our economy starts to lower things a little bit. So we can only take so much, right? Like it can only go so high before the people just stop, right? Like I don't know, maybe not.
No, let's bring it all down. Let's just burn it all down.
That's it. We'll start over. Like it's okay. We could reset this, right? Like, I've reset my life a few times, so it's like it's not bad. We'll be all right. Like we're not thriving. That's the thing I don't understand is like as a country, like we're not thriving. I don't know why people think we are. Like, oh, I don't know. But anyway, Marc-Alan, this was awesome. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for talking with me. And I wish you nothing but the best with this record. I have a feeling like this is gonna sell out. This has to sell out. This is such a good album. Keep doing what you do, and we'll see you. We'll see you out there. Okay.
Yeah, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Oh, wait. Before we go, where can people find you on social media? Let's
everything is just at Marc-Alan Prince. Spelled with a C and ALAN, only one L in there. Last name's Prince. You can find me anywhere. I'm on YouTube. Just put up a live video from San Antonio out there on my YouTube channel, so check that one out. Just at Marc-Alan Prince. Got Instagram, Facebook, Blue Sky, all at Marc-Alan Prince. And then if you just want to see me do funny dance videos, you can find me on TikTok, and that's just also Marc-Alan Prince.
All right, cool. And if what's the best way for people to purchase the album?
If you want to buy the record, definitely go to the Bandcamp. If you go to marcalanprince.com, man, I really just love saying Marc-Alan Prince, I guess. I don't know.
No, it's
if you go to marcalanprince.com, yeah, you go to the website, and all the links are on there to the Bandcamp page, and then you can order a copy of Runaway, or a brand new record, on Travel Well Records out of Austin, Texas, and yeah.
Travel well. See, everything's traveling. Travel well. You know,
Travel well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Runaway.
Hell
There
yeah.
you go.
All right, man. Hey, I appreciate you. Thank you for doing this.
No, man. Thank you.
When I left home, I was only 16. No clue about the world, no clue about anything. I could hear the road calling out to my soul, and now say goodbye. My mother cried. I knew I had to go. Couldn't read the street signs. My brother lost his mind. He dropped me off in Austin. Pretty sure he thought I died, but I knew